I say to you that there is in operation at the present time a conspiracy to sell, and I use the word sell advisedly, this country to the Dominion of Canada.
In 1949, Newfoundland stood at a crossroads. After centuries as a British colony and a brief, turbulent period of self-governance, the island faced economic ruin. The Great Depression and a struggling fishery had left families in poverty, and the future looked bleak. Confederation with Canada, decided by a razor-thin vote, was sold as a lifeline. Newfoundlanders were promised stability, opportunity, and a brighter future. Specifically, Canada dangled the prospects of universal health care, modern education, and widespread electricity, luxuries for many outport communities. These promises were powerful, swaying a skeptical population toward joining Canada. But even today, 75 years after Confederation, Canada still dangles the same carrots. If those Newfoundlanders could see the state of our province, would they believe Confederation delivered? The answer is a bittersweet mix of gratitude and disillusionment. The promises of 1949 were compelling. Healthcare meant access to doctors and hospitals, a godsend for remote communities reliant on folk remedies. Education promised schools for every child, replacing one-room schoolhouses with modern facilities. Electricity was a symbol of progress, bringing light and power to outports where kerosene lamps flickered. These were not just policies, they were dreams of dignity and security. Newfoundlanders expected jobs too, believing Canada's economy would bolster the fishery and create new industries. Confederation was pitched as a partnership to lift Newfoundland from hardship, ensuring families could stay rooted in their communities. Yet the reality has been more complex. Since Confederation, both provincial and federal governments have weaponized these very promises, healthcare, education, and electricity, as tools to pressure communities into relocation. Small outports, the heart of Newfoundland's culture, have been told to abandon their homes because maintaining schools, clinics, and power lines was deemed too costly. Over 300 coastal communities have vanished, either through formal resettlement programs or slow neglect, their stages and wharves left to rot. Healthcare, while universal, is strained. Rural clinics close, and patients travel hours for basic care. Education faces underfunding, with schools in small towns shuttered, forcing families to move or children to endure long commutes. Electricity, once a symbol of progress, is now a burden, with soaring costs and unreliable service in remote areas. Fishery, expected to thrive, collapsed under the cod moratorium, and young people are forced to leave for work, draining our communities of their future. If those who voted for Confederation in 1949 were alive today, would they say this is what they were promised? Likely not. They envisioned a Newfoundland where families could stay, work, and prosper on their own terms, not one where the very services pledged to uplift them were used to justify emptying communities. Yes, Confederation brought undeniable gains, social programs, infrastructure, and the safety net to transform lives. But the loss of over 300 communities, the dismantling of our culture, the outmigration of our youth, and the crumbling state of roads, hospitals, and schools betray the spirit of those promises. Newfoundlanders remain resilient, but the dream of 1949, a thriving, connected province, remains unfulfilled. We are left wondering if Confederation was a partnership or a compromise that cost us more than we gained.